Hi, Sagittarius, Sun and Rising. Welcome to your March 2022 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, being a fellow Sun and Sagittarius, for those of you who share that astrological placement, I'm really looking forward to March. March has always been one of my favorite months, and I'm sure an astrologer would say, well, that's because the sun goes into Aries, and that's more compatible than Pisces. And maybe that's true, but you have to remember, all of you out there, that you have other inner planets or even outer planets, and these Pisces transits can be harmonious with those. Okay, so look at your whole chart, not just your sun sign. But a lot of times when we're trying to accomplish our goals, and I would say that is, with the solar chart, that's how I tie that in to timing matters, and the natal chart with your day-to-day life unfolding, that we can feel more supported by the universe when we have that trine action going on with the Aries. Okay, so for what that's worth. But we do still have a lot of Pisces because as the month begins, we're still in Pisces season. And right off the bat on the 2nd, we have a new moon at 12 degrees of Pisces. For Sag, this is falling in the 4th house of home and family. And some of you, and I know I have been feeling reverberations around the issue of home, about knowing that change is on the horizon. And if you combine your natal and your solar chart, you can see this that much better because, like in my case, the full moon that is in February, which is right before, when I'm recording this, is actually going to be in my 4th house of home and family. And now we have this new moon in my solar house, 4th house. So that really is the writing on the wall. But it doesn't mean when you have a new moon here that you're going to be moving into a new house necessarily. It can be many different things. It can be a new attitude towards your home. Maybe for a while, if you have recently moved into a place and you haven't really felt comfortable, maybe this is when you start to feel like you're really at home. So it could have a completely different meaning. And for some people, it can mean being able to let go of that home. Even though this is a new moon, it still is like, I'm ready to move on. It just depends. So, so new developments in that home area. This is the house of the mother. So there could be either a new relationship with her, a new stage in your relationship, something going on there. Who knows? Just know that this area is highlighted with this new moon here. The very next day, there's a conjunction between Venus and Mars in Capricorn, a late degree in Capricorn. And also on the 6th, and these are the divine lovers, they both enter Aquarius. Mars on the East Coast entering at 2:22 a.m. I had to say that. I think it's a.m. I had to mention that one. So with Sag, this Capricorn energy, oh, I didn't think about this. This is in the 2nd house of earned income. Me likey. Very good for money. But I feel like with Mars connected here, that you have to be courageous about this. If this is something financial, that you have to be, I don't know, I don't like the word aggressive, but assertive or, proactive. That you're not just waiting for something to drop in your lap, but if you put your nose to the grindstone, you're going to reap rewards while they are traveling here together. And maybe this is even coming from past efforts. Who knows? That but I feel like I think that this would be something that you're currently having to do because Mars can indicate that even physical kind of energy that you're pouring into something. And then on the 6th, that was something where you had, Venus in this second house and what have you. You had those Capricorn transits, and of course Venus spent the whole month of February going direct. So, I mean, coming out of its shadow. So in early March, you have Venus coming out of its shadow officially and joining up with Mars. So that's a very powerful kind of a timing. And this is in that second house, but you've had it here. So I guess I would ask Sagittarius, how have your finances been? Have they been kind of like better than average? And I'm talking about all the way back from the week before Christmas. How have they been? Because Venus retrograded in the second house back on December 19th, and now that it's gone direct, it might have made you feel, and when I say now, actually in late January, so it might make you feel like, hey, things are really turning around, but maybe you had a good January financially regardless. I'm not going to just assume you didn't. I feel that things were good. I mean, it depends. If this is your natal chart, maybe you felt it more strongly because that might describe the day-to-day, the mundane events. I don't know. But in any case, it's just interesting to ask the question. So when Venus and Mars go into the third house, there is an emphasis on you and social media, especially since Venus is there. Venus is very good at kind of schmoozing with people. And this is a green light period, actually. From the early, I would say around this time. This is a green light period until late April for all of us to push projects forward. So specifically, this may revolve for you around issues with social media, the internet, writing, and this kind of thing. And you can move full steam ahead since Mars is here in March. And so take advantage of it because you never know. You might do double duty. You might feel like you have endless energy to do whatever it is that you want to do. This is also the house of teaching and learning. So maybe you're going to take a crash course in something or be teaching in multiple settings, like more than one setting. And so you're just kind of like really driven in that sense. Mercury is in Aquarius until the 9th, so Mercury has already been in here. And then Mercury goes into Pisces. And when that happens, we're talking about fourth house activity. You may be speaking to your mother more often. There's something very important that you have to discuss. By the way, the third house can be siblings. So there may be some family stuff that comes in during this month. And again, for people that are involved with real estate matters, talking about those, kind of negotiating, researching, and that kind of thing. On the 18th, there's a full moon at 27 degrees of Virgo. And this is all about, Virgo for you is that 10th house of career. So that can be good because, and it's at a later degree. So It can even, to me, it's almost like getting some kind of overdue recognition for your work, or when I say recognition, I also mean people taking notice or publicity, that kind of thing. And it may be a long time coming. I'm looking at these later degree full moons as very powerful. As I record this, the Leo one hasn't happened yet, and it just feels like it's going to pop, like it's totally pregnant with something. So we will see. Some of you, if this is in your time of life, may be retiring, and this feels like the right time to retire. On the 30th, on the 20th, the sun goes into Aries, yay. But not just because it's a fellow fire sign, but because it's the astrological new year. I said that on 11/11. It's 11/11. Oh my God. And it went to 11/11 on the recording too. Shut up. This is amazing. The astrological new year is the time when the astrological calendar or wheel starts to reboot, and we have a new year. And therefore, it is like a new year. You could say January 1st is your new year, your solar return or your birthday is your new year, and the astrological new year is your birthday. And all would be correct in their own way. So how this can manifest is that you, with the sun going into Aries, it's going into that 5th house of love, creativity, romance, fun. This is a fun time for Sag. In the Northern Hemisphere, this is the spring, the beginning of spring. And so I don't know about you guys, but I certainly welcome that time of year. It's a mystical time as far as I'm concerned. On the 27th, you have Mercury going into that 5th house. So if you are interested in someone, you might be talking to them. Now, that is a totally Sag thing to do, to talk, rather than whatever else. Talking is something that most Sages, unless you have Mercury in Scorpio, you might be more tight-lipped and more secretive. But I mean, the average Sag likes to share ideas with people. And that is something that when you're looking for love is very important, to know what somebody else's ideas are to see if you're compatible, rather than focusing on their appearance exclusively or some other superficial aspect of themselves. Mercury in the 5th could have some kind of a writing connotation to it, a creative writing connotation. Maybe you're going to launch a blog in the near future. The new moon is actually at the beginning is actually on April Fool's Day, on the 1st of April. So there you go. That's in the not too distant future. Okay, that's what I have for you, Sag. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.